Johnny Somali or something.
You know what? Lock him up, bro, with the keys.
Johnny Somali needs to be stopped. He's just disrespecting Somali name, man.
Lock him up.
Do you know who Johnny Somali is?
I think he needs to pay the price.
He got beat up, actually, yeah.
I don't want him back in, like, more in Asia country.
Bro, I wish I was in America where I can just... Don't say that, man. I swear to God.
So he's already looking like that. And beyond that, he owes him 20,000 USD. Guys, remember when Hank was arguing over Manhunt? He was arguing over 10,000 won, which was like $7.
Johnny Somali is still hiding like a ghost. Not a single new appearance, no live streams, nothing. But the internet hasn't stopped talking about him for a second. And now, reports say the same things Johnny once bragged about America are coming back to bite him in the worst way possible. The guy who thought he could say anything without consequence is now living in the shadow of his own words. And it doesn't stop there. Those sick threats he made against South Korean women, including the claim that he could spread a dangerous disease, aren't just forgotten internet moments. They're now sitting in official files, being looked at closely by the authorities. South Korea's public has made it clear they're not going to let this slide. They're demanding the toughest punishment the law will allow, and they're reminding everyone that their petition against him wasn't for show. It was because they had serious reasons to take him down. Meanwhile, Hank Yu, once Johnny's closest ally, is now stepping away fast. But don't think for a second it's just a peaceful split. The truth behind their separation is dirtier and more calculated than they'd like to admit. These two tried to make it look like a simple fallout. But word is, they were playing a game to throw people off. Now, the cracks in their story are starting to show, and it's looking more like betrayal than friendship. Before we unpack that, I have to show you a clip that will make you rethink everything you thought you knew about Johnny Somali.
First, he winked at me in the little hearing. Then, I wasn't sure if it was directed at me or whoever, but he made it clear when he came out. He's like, "Nice to meet you, Ryan Dawson." Like, "See, I know your name." Great. You're still a misfit and a midget, and your breath stinks. You couldn't get a more polar opposite than myself than Johnny. I love and respect East Asian culture. Lived here since 2005 between Japan and Korea. Got nominated to be a goodwill ambassador for Japan, whereas Johnny went to jail when he went to Japan. He is dysgenic in every way possible. He's like skinny, fat, a midget, smelly, ugly, everything gross.
In this video, a man talks about Johnny in a way that goes way beyond internet gossip. Last time we made a video about him, some people said we were just giving opinions. But this right here, this is from someone who's been around Johnny in real life. The man explains that during one of Johnny's trials, he ended up close to him and immediately caught a whiff of something so bad, it made him step back. His exact words, "The smell was disgusting." And this isn't about someone trying to be petty. This is about the fact that Johnny isn't just mentally toxic. He's physically unhygienic too. Think about it. This is a man who built his reputation on controversy, chaos, and disrespect. And now, even his personal hygiene is turning into a public talking point. People aren't just criticizing him because they don't like him. They're pointing out facts that come from firsthand encounters. So at this point, there's no doubt left. Johnny Somali isn't just shady, he's downright disgusting. The guy is rotten on the inside and the outside. And honestly, if someone like this isn't out committing crimes, then who on earth would be? Now here's where things get even hotter. Breaking reports from American media are shining a spotlight on something Johnny said about America before all this chaos. And it's the kind of thing that makes you stop and think, wow, this man is seriously out of control.
Not Johnny Somali, Johnny Ramsey Ismail, the American, please.
Johnny Somali has always thrived on stirring the pot, using his U.S. citizenship like a shield to provoke people. He loves to throw out lines like, "I'm American. What are you gonna do to me?" As if that's some kind of untouchable pass. But here's the twist. By doing this, he's dragging America's name through the mud. He's admitted himself that he does everything for money or nothing at all. Straight up owning the fact that he's a clout chaser. No morals, no boundaries, just pure attention-seeking chaos. And every single time he waves that American identity around, he's not showing pride, he's cursing the very country he's claiming. It's like a threat and an insult rolled into one. And people are finally starting to realize how dangerous that mindset is. This is the unfiltered, unpolished face of Johnny Somali, a man who doesn't actually care about America, doesn't respect it, and only drags it out when it benefits him. He's not protecting the country's image. He's using it like a stage prop to get views, stir trouble, and make himself look bigger than he is. That's why every time his mouth opens and America comes out, people should be paying close attention because it's never for a good reason. It's not just Americans calling Johnny Somali out anymore. Even people from Somalia are saying he's a disgrace. They're speaking up, making it clear that Johnny isn't just dragging America's name through the dirt, he's tarnishing Somalia's image too.
I've got what's that guy called? The one that's just tearing up in like all over Asia, especially South Korea. What's his name, man? And he's carrying the Johnny Somali or something.
You know what? Lock him up, throw away the keys.
Johnny Somali needs to be stopped. He's just disrespecting Somali name, man.
Lock him up, throw away the keys.
The worst part is, guys, and you all know this, he's not even Somali.
He's not even
bro.
Somali. Like
he's a secret agent sent to destroy our name.
I don't know why
it's so sad. And you know what? Somalis are so respectful, especially like to other cultures. You know, so it's like he's going to. You know, he's going to these Asian countries and he's being like disrespectful.
Absolutely.
You know?
And it's not a small group saying this. Content creators from all over are posting about how embarrassed they are to have his name tied to either country. And it goes way beyond just nationality. People from all over the globe are now united on one thing. They can't stand Johnny Somali.
If I don't want to say too much, but
there's one point on TikTok and wherever I just scroll on Twitter, it's called X. I just see this guy just shaming us, just destroying our name.
Yeah.
And then people are saying, oh, why are you like, you know, in Qatar, right? It's not a lot of people know Somali. It's not a lot of Somalis here.
Yeah.
So they come to, oh, why you people do it? I'm like, yo, he's not Somali, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like doing a whole media course on this guy.
like
whole PR.
control damage and everything.
Man.
The calls for consequences are getting louder by the day. And they're not just because he was a controversial streamer. No, people are pointing out that he was a disgusting streamer who built a brand off being offensive, reckless, and downright dangerous. Now here's where things start to tighten around him. Credible sources say that his past comments about South Korean women, along with his direct threats to South Korean authorities, have finally made it to the top levels of government in Seoul. And this isn't just idle gossip. These are the kinds of statements that could trigger serious legal action. The kind of action that can end your freedom real quick. Whether this particular update turns out 100% legit or not, one thing is certain. South Koreans have every reason to be alarmed. What Johnny said back then wasn't some childish joke. It was vile, calculated, and, in the eyes of many, criminal on a global level. The fury is spreading fast. People in South Korea are already demanding the harshest punishment possible. But now even folks overseas are chiming in. One man from Texas who goes by Jay put it bluntly. If Johnny Somali had pulled these stunts in Korea or Japan, they would have punished him and live streamed it. The outrage isn't slowing down. It's spreading like wildfire across the globe. Even in America, where Johnny Somali once thought he had some sort of shield, people are turning their backs on it.
Who Johnny Somali is?
I mean, who doesn't know?
Do you have any opinions or thoughts about his situation?
I mean, he fucked around and he found out, so that's how it is.
Not a fan.
Nope.
I think he needs to pay the price. It's about time. He's gotten away with it everywhere he's gone without any repercussions. He needs to do time.
I think we should lock him up. I think when he came to Korea, he got beat up. Actually, I don't want to say he deserved it because obviously violence is not the way, but he kind of deserved it. I don't know.
And he want to go to China next time. If he go to China,
Nope.
I really want him to like get back. You know, I don't want him back in like more in Asia country. He's so disrespectful, so I don't like him.
But in South Korea, the anger is desperate. Locals aren't just criticizing him, they're demanding the absolute harshest punishment possible. One furious voice even said, "It's time for Johnny to grow cabbages in prison for the next 15 years. Another called out his stunt with the South Korean statue, saying it was straight up disrespect, and plenty of others are bluntly stating there's no room for sympathy. Johnny Somali will get what he deserves." And now, his situation has gone from bad to catastrophic. 3 or 4 months ago, things looked bad for him, sure. But now, the storm is closing in from every direction. The biggest twist, it's not even coming from the public or the government. It's coming from his own former ally, Hank Yu. Here's the backstory. Hank Yu was once the reason Johnny even had the tools to pull off his streaming stunts in the first place. The phone, the access, the streaming setups, all of that came through Hank. But their partnership is over, and Hank has officially cut him off. And judging by what Hank's been saying lately, Johnny's in more trouble than anyone realized. Because here's the kicker. Johnny Somali owes Hank Yu over $20,000. That's not just petty cash. That's a mountain of unpaid fines, expenses, and debts that Hank says Johnny racked up while running wild. And now, with Hank no longer protecting him, that debt isn't just hanging over Johnny's head. It could be the thing that finally breaks him. Now, here's where things get real messy. Hank Yu isn't just sitting back and waiting for his $20,000. From the way he's talking, it sounds like he's ready to make Johnny Somali's life a nightmare until he gets every single cent back. And we're not talking about polite reminders here. Hank's been hinting that he's got plenty of dirt on Johnny. Dirt that, if it ever hits the public, could make his current legal trouble look like a parking ticket. Insiders say Hank's been quietly feeding information to people behind the scenes, painting a full picture of how Johnny operated. The scams, the shady deals, the disrespect to locals, all of it. And without Hank's protection, Johnny's now fully exposed. No backup, no cover story, no friendly face to spin the narrative. What makes this betrayal sting even more is the history between them. Hank was the one who gave Johnny the platform, the tools, and even helped him dodge trouble in the past. They used to be inseparable, with Hank defending Johnny when nobody else would. But now, Hank's turned into one of his loudest critics. And let's not forget, in situations like this, money isn't just money. That $20,000 is leverage. If Johnny can't pay, Hank has every reason to keep pushing. And every push could lead to another problem for Johnny with the authorities. The man's already under investigation for threats, harassment, and public disrespect. Imagine adding financial fraud or unpaid debts to the list. The worst part, Johnny Somali can't run to anyone else for help. His bridges are burned in Korea. Japan wants nothing to do with him. And now even his brother in arms, Hank, is pulling the trigger on what could be the final hit to his reputation. So after everything we've seen unfold, it's hard to imagine Johnny Somali making it through his next days in South Korea without taking a massive hit. Even if the court somehow lets him off without serious punishment, the pressure outside the courtroom is only getting heavier. And now, with Hank Yu walking away for good, it's like the final pillar holding Johnny's world together has been kicked out from under him. This isn't just a friendship ending, it's a full collapse of his support system. Hank was his shield, his fixer, and in many ways, the only reason Johnny could keep up his reckless lifestyle for so long. Without that, Johnny is exposed on all sides. Every day he's not in prison, he's still facing public backlash, debt collectors, and a growing list of people ready to drag him down. It's a brutal spiral, and unless something drastic changes, Johnny Somali's downfall will keep building day by day until there's nothing left to salvage. But what do you think? Will Johnny Somali somehow manage to crawl out of this disaster? Or is this truly the beginning of his end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next big update.